All right, so I'm going to take you on a virtual tour of a vacation I took this year during the month of June. So it all started driving down to LAX, Los Angeles International Airport, and boarding a plane to Portland, Oregon. We'll land in Portland. It's about a 2-hour flight. And of course, like anybody else, at 10 or 11 in the morning, we're hungry. So I look up after we get the rental car, and I look up some local places on Yelp. And Screen Door was one of the places that appeared with high reviews. And this place was awesome. Huge portions. They have a cat's head biscuit sandwich, chicken biscuit sandwich. Is a piece of chicken as big as a cat's head, sandwiched between 2 biscuits with gravy. And then I believe I got a side order of grits, cheese grits, that were delicious. It's a great southern restaurant, and I highly recommend Screen Door. The following day, we wanted to visit Seattle. So jumped in the rental car and drove north to Pike Place Market. This is a market made famous through the fishermen throwing fish from one person to the next and tossing fish at customers. These huge salmon, huge fish that they're tossing around this market. It's a very interesting market, a lot of shops. We tried the local seafood. It was good, but it's just an interesting market, and there's a farmer's market attached to it, and it just has a different life than Seattle. Across the street from the Pike Place Market is the first Starbucks that was ever made, but it had a huge line for tours, so we decided not to go. So then the next day we wanted to explore Oregon more, so we went to the Trail of Ten Falls in Silverton, Oregon. And it's a series of 10 waterfalls over the course of an 8-mile hike. Now, my wife's still rehabbing a broken ankle, so we didn't go the entire way, but we did get to see, I think, 4 or 5 waterfalls and got some great pictures. On the way back, we stopped by an alpaca farm. We saw a sign on the side of the road that said alpaca farm, and we stopped by and talked to the lady there, and it was an awesome experience. We got to learn a lot about alpacas. They had about 80 of them. They give you samples of their wool. We got some dryer balls, but we looked at, the different materials or the different clothing and mats that they make out of alpaca wool. It was really interesting to be able to hear about some of the alpacas. So then the next day, we wanted to spend some time in the actual city of Portland. My wife had heard about Blue Star Donuts being in competition with Voodoo. And Voodoo Donuts is very big over in Oregon and in California as well. Blue Star is a good place to go. They have some solid donuts. Their coffee was good. I had the ganache and I believe a maple. I can't remember, but the donuts were solid. So then we heard about, or my wife had been here before, but we went to Pal City of Books. It's the largest used and new bookstore in the world. It has over almost up to 1 million copies of books. And it is massive. You walk in and we spent 2 hours just sitting there looking at books, and I only made it through like one level. It's multiple levels, and it is an awesome experience to go to Pal's bookstore. So then we wanted to finish the day off with a nice cold beer and went to Bailey's Tap Room. Oregon is known for their beer scene, and they have quite a good selection of different Oregon as well as California beers. They have a computerized system, and it measures the taps and it tells you what's been freshly tapped and what hasn't. It's an interesting way to look at it. It was definitely a cool experience. On the way back, we had the munchies, so we decided to grab a Voodoo donut as well, just to compare them to the Blue Star donuts. And I have to say, Voodoo wins hands down. Their donut selection is huge. They have tons and tons of different flavors, and all the ones I tried were delicious. So then the following day, we had to jump back on the plane at Oregon's airport, and we're headed to Burbank. So we flew into Burbank, and our friend picked us up, and we made it home. And that's the end of our vacation.